If you're the Eagles, Dan, are you happy to see Eli Manning? No. Okay, tell me why.
Well, because to Victor's point, like Eli, he can go out there and not care. He can be completely free. There's no repercussion for mistake. There's no consequence for mistake. His legacy is set in stone. Nothing that's going to happen, whether it's Monday night or for the next 4 weeks, is going to change how people perceive him, whether it's in New York or nationally. So there's a beauty in like, okay, I'm just going to go let it go, and I'm going to be super aggressive and not care if I make a mistake. Because sometimes as a quarterback, you can get hot that way. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick,
yeah.
Exactly. You can get hot where it's like, I'm going to put the ball in harm's way, and my guys will go make some plays. So I'd rather have the young quarterback who hasn't seen a bunch of stuff that we can get out and be physical with and change coverage and blitz package rather than Eli, who's seen everything. He's going to know exactly what Schwartz and that defense is doing. And there's a freedom to going, there's no consequence.
Yeah, as long as Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't the intended starter, he's a Hall of Famer. There's no issues there. JoJo, Giants ownership has been a little bit candid, I think, in saying they're not going to make any decision until after the season, but they will have to look at the whole body of work. What do you hear about the future of head coach Pat Shurmur?
Well, first of all, you're right. The owners are talking about they have to have a very honest discussion about how the football operation has gone under Pat Shurmur. And I think what's interesting is that when Ben McAdoo got fired after 28 games, his record was 13-15. Pat Shurmur's record after 28 games is 7-21. Just to really put that into context of what their patience was with the record under Ben McAdoo. So they have some serious questions to really ask themselves. Do they have the right guy, not just to develop Daniel Jones, but that has the leadership DNA to rise all boats in that organization and make everyone feel inspired to go where they need to go, really, which is to get back to their blue chip pedigree. And that is a really serious question, because what you could potentially be doing is hiring a third coach that might have you even worse. I mean, when we were talking about this last year during free agency, no one thought that the Giants would be worse than 5-11. And here they are worse than that record right now and still searching for their first win. But when it comes back to what you were saying about Eli Manning, he has the opportunity to reconjure some positive nostalgia, even though his legacy is set in stone in New York, and remind people, what he used to do when he was at his best. Now with what you were saying, less pressure on
Yeah, it's interesting. Every single person I heard from, whether they were a Giants fan or not, said, I hope he wins. I think everybody wants to see Eli Manning sort of go out on his own terms in some way, shape, or form. Not exactly. But, Coach, what's your take on how this will all play out with the New York Giants?
Well, it'll play out well if he has some time to throw. So the offensive line needs to buy some time. Fletcher Cox and those guys can bring it. So the Philadelphia front is what they're going to have to concern themselves with. If they give Eli some time, he'll have a chance to work against that secondary that's had trouble this year.
There's a reality that this is a challenge, though, as well. I mean, Eli has not faced live bullets, and I always say extended period of times off for a quarterback, it's just seeing things. It happens.
Ghosts?
Thankfully, sometimes in New York, right? But it just happens so fast. And you can't simulate it in practice. Yeah. And I know Eli's played for 1,000 years, but he hasn't seen game speed in a long time.
That first series will tell a lot. That first series, how
he might struggle a little bit to get. It'll be interesting to see how Pat Shurmur kind of handles it and whatnot, but it might take a couple series for Eli to feel like, okay, I'm back in my element.
Listen, everybody will be watching. It'll be the only game in town because Eli will start for the Giants against the Eagles.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.